from your perspective,
Hmm.
as an African American woman,
Yes.
is this looked at as a win
Yes.
for black? Okay.
Not necessarily for black women. Not for black women. Just for black people.
Oh, okay.
No. You can't speak for all black people. You say win. I ain't win shit. I don't even care.
You're taking it personally.
You
I'm
said it's
just
a
saying-
win for black people.
I'm just
Don't I
saying
count as
people
black?
no, you're not understanding. You
You're
know
right.
what I
That's why I
mean.
asked the question.
Elaborate.
Understanding.
I'm saying like we feel like this is like, again, we're crashing through something that's so white. It's like we're not taking it, you know.
That it could snowball into something else. This is the
It
beginning.
ain't gonna
Beginning of
snowball
something.
into nothing. Wake up, wake up, wake up, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake.
You need a bell. You
Exactly.
need a school days bell.
Damn it. Welcome to another episode of the B-Side. I'm DJ Mark Harris along with ChatterBox Christie. Say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people?
We are in the lovely Envision BMG studios on the Teach One Media Network, broadcasting live and direct on this humid day from Atlanta, GA, Hollywood of the South, the Black Mecca, a.k.a. home of the SCLC, home of Chick-fil-A. What else?
Home of the Braves. I don't know.
Man, damn that.
I
Damn
don't know.
that.
What else is it the home of? That's good. Home. The cradle of ratchetness.
Yeah.
The birthplace of ratchet television.
Yeah, I guess so. Even though
trap music.
the Housewives didn't start in Atlanta, they started in.
Yeah, but Atlanta made them famous.
Yeah, you're right about that. Best ratings ever. Anyway, we digress. One, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the B-Side. And rather than keep talking about Atlanta superlatives, which may not be superlatives in your mind,
I don't know. This could be a positive.
we're going to get right into it. We're talking about understanding. And to help us, it's going to be our main man, super producer, Chris.
Hey, what's happening?
He's the third person.
When y'all get out of line, don't worry. I'll get y'all back
He is the
in pocket.
He is the third wheel of the big wheel, which I'm sure he doesn't know what the hell a big wheel is because he's 12.
Probably doesn't. But the big wheel steers.
Big wheel steers.
And
Big wheel was indestructible damn near.
Yes.
Yeah, but now we're showing our age.
Yes.
Um,
And it's beautiful.
the conversation, the topic is understanding,
And you need some.
I need plenty of understanding.
You need some understanding.
It's Sunday, and we recently had the royal wedding with the ginger, Harry himself, and the mulatto.
Ooh, don't say that.
Isn't she a mulatto?
But just say mixed chick or
The
something.
mixed chick, Meghan. Now, understand that's no hate. I'm just trying to be factual.
I
Okay.
understand. You
Don't-
could have
you
just
can't-
said light-skinned or something.
No, because then you playing a role. They had the wedding.
Biracial young lady.
Biracial divorced young lady.
Older than him young lady.
Hey, every man likes an older woman.
I'm just saying
see what I'm
all
saying?
the things that could have been seen as a negative ended up being a positive
Got it.
because she is a princesa.
Got it. Princess or whatever you want to say. No, she's a duchess actually, but
well,
anyway.
Princess Duchess, you know.
Okay. But let's get into where we tie back to the topic
why
understanding.
you need understanding.
I don't understand why in the hell,
Mm-hmm.
the capitalized,
Mm-hmm.
does anybody in this country outside of people kin to her care? Now, this is where you become a caveman, and I am plenty of times.
Yes.
My assumption is that it's the romanticism that women have always grown up with the whole princess fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you 45, been through 3 jacked up relationships, and this chick has
Are
found.
you talking about me? No.
Child, there you go. That's a whole nother show.
And just be clear, I have not been through 3 jacked up relationships. Let's just keep it real.
So y'all see how hot this is making me because I'm Sweating like a hoe in church. Anyway, I digress.
Digression.
I can only assume, being a caveman, that it is tied back to the fallacy that I guess all women are brought up with as being looked at as a princess when you're 15, playing with the Barbie doll, and then this chick who's an actress who looks better than you meets this cat on a blind date. They go camping in Botswana, which most of y'all don't know where Botswana is, nor can you spell it. And you don't sleep outside because you got a mortgage. You're not going to sleep outside. They went
You ain't going to Botswana because you got a
you ain't got no passport. You can't go to Botswana. Okay. But she's camping for 5 days under the stars in Botswana outside. Again, camping outside. Not in the Westin. Not in the Holiday Inn.
Not even in the tent. I mean, not even in the cabin.
Yeah. She's camping outside in a tent.
Yeah.
She ends up marrying this dude. And all these people over here, especially sisters, I saw on the news today, people wiping away tears and they crying and they're so happy. People woke up at 4 a.m. to watch a wedding in London.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you give a damn.
Well, okay. Let's just start as a whole. You're right. A lot of women are into that fairy tale romance kind of thing, and it's all this pageantry, and the royal weddings are big. I mean, those are big weddings. There's lots of pomp and circumstance and all that big stuff that a lot of women who fantasize about their dream wedding want it to be something like that. Not me, just to be clear. No. I'd get married in some jeans or something. So that would be me. Or some shorts on a beach with like 5 people. So, but I get the whole fairy tale thing for people as a whole. Now, why black folks got up? Harry is marrying a black girl. This is like, I mean, you understand how historical this whole thing is?
But did they get up for Harry marrying a black girl? Or did they get up for
the black girl marrying Harry?
The black girl marrying Harry.
They got up for the black girl marrying. Okay, so this ties into a whole lot of things. A lot of us of our generation, let's just say, watched Diana get married. I was one of them. I mean, I was a kid, and I remember being at summer camp. And of course, my campers, being older than me, were like, we're watching the war. I mean, we had no choice in this.
Were they white or black?
They were white, of course.
Okay.
So we're sitting, and I mean, I was at gymnastics practice when Luke and Laura.
Oh, that was real white.
To fictional characters on General Hospital, their wedding was as big as the royal wedding.
That was real white.
And
right there.
and my gymnastics coaches like stopped practice and turned on General Hospital to watch their wedding. So it's
General what?
You know what? Do you know what a soap opera is?
I do. Yes.
Are you sure?
Days of Our Lives.
Okay. Well, General Hospital is one of those.
Ah.
Oh my.
All right. I just want to double check.
I can't with him.
You can carry on.
Okay, so it's a lot of pageantry and people just get into that. I watched Diana's wedding. It was big. It was, her dress weighed 100 pounds. That was my first exposure to the royal wedding.
Okay.
And then I did watch a little bit of William and Kate's wedding. I did not get up. I did not watch the whole thing from beginning to end. I just wanted to see what her dress looked like. I just wanted to see that. So when I saw that, I was done. I didn't need to sit there and watch for hours and hours and hours. I think for this, because we touched on this, I think, in another show, because on my own podcast, Caffeinated Quickies, I did when they first got
shameless plug,
but
okay.
I talked about when they announced their engagement. I talked about the fact that in the media, which I found it to be very strange, that they talked more about her being an American. They talked more about her being divorced, about being older than him and everything, but no one was saying anything about her being black. And my question on my show was, are they just not talking about her being black because it doesn't matter? Or is everybody clueless about that? Because I know some people who were clueless.
I don't think that most people knew she was black because, people.
I knew she was black.
Well, again, but you're also entertainment news media nerd.
No, that has nothing to do with it. I mean, I watched the show that she's on. I watched Suits.
So okay, stop right there. How many sisters watch Suits?
I don't know.
That's my point.
There's black people on Suits.
Okay, one has nothing to do with the other. What I said was, I didn't say there were no black people on Suits because Gina Torres.
Gina Torres is on Suits.
Yeah, okay. Granted.
Dule Hill is on Suits.
Granted. But what I'm saying is, that's not a show that typically, in my mind, and I believe the stats will prove it right, that black people consume unless you're into that type of programming. And black people don't watch USA Network. Okay? So if you don't watch that.
Right. I mean, there's not. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Because I'm gonna be honest, the way I knew she was black is because I saw she was an attractive woman, and I said, "Who is this chick right here?" And then when I found out she was black, I'm like, "Okay, she has a little bit more credibility." But if you look at her, she looks like an average. She looks like the.
She doesn't look white.
No. But what I'm saying is, she looks like the typical woman that's used in media and advertising now.
You're right.
To where you can't tell.
She's racially ambiguous.
Exactly. And she can pass.
For about anything.
So and if you looked at her when her hair was always done, you couldn't tell. You couldn't say she had typical black people hair because it was always, it was always done.
Rachel's edges are always jacked.
That's
how we know.
But that's we. And who is we coming from?
The girls.
Okay, granted. But again, you weren't paying that much attention because you didn't see her. You also don't know that she was a briefcase girl on
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal. Okay, sisters didn't follow her.
You're right.
To know that she's black. Until
this and that.
The other thing.
Until it came out that she was dating Harry, and people started to take notice of, and I think it was sort of watched because we know in history of the royal family, that is probably as white as you can get is the royal family.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm sure.
So and then let's just go back to Diana. Diana was loved by everybody. I mean, black people, white people, everybody. Diana was cool and she bucked the system. That was the thing that everybody loved about Diana, because there was so, the royal family is so staunch and rigid, and there's all these rules, and she didn't fit the princess mold. It was just killing her to be in that situation. And then you add to the fact that she married somebody who didn't even love her.
See, I wouldn't even known that story.
Yeah, it's a lot, boy. I'm telling you, Diana. But outside of the British family, Diana was an activist. She,
I do.
And her sons have followed in her footsteps, particularly Harry. Yeah. Harry is like, I'm going to continue my mother's work no matter what, and he has done that, and that's how he met Meghan. But Harry be staying in Africa. Look, you can't tell me that Harry hasn't always had a thing.
I've always said
for the sisters.
I've always said that if you leave it up to every white man, if they don't have a hood and a sheet in their closet, they would love to have.
Hey, they might even with that.
They would love to have some chocolate. Love to have some chocolate. Love it. So
they they even like attention. Case in point, that night, that one of those times that I went with you to see Kemet at Sound Table.
Yes.
Do you remember? I think Quetta was with us too.
That's a Sound Table to digress. Sound Table is a party here in Atlanta.
No, Sound Table is a venue.
Sound Table is that you're correct. The Sound Table is a venue here in Atlanta. It's a restaurant upstairs. It's a nightclub party deal downstairs. And a dear friend of mine, DJ Kemet, one of the best, most notable DJs in Atlanta.
In the world.
In the world, too. He does monthly events there. He does a Friday night event where he plays Caribbean, Latin music, Afro-Cuban. Saturday night is Kicking Up Dust, where he plays nothing but 45s.
Which is great.
Actually, vinyl, old donuts.
DJ
but
play 45.
We've been friends forever. I told her about it. I know Kemet, again, a personal friend. I told her she needs to come. She'd appreciate it. She did. So
I had a great time.
That's the backstory.
That's
go
the
ahead.
backstory. So that night that we went to Kemet's, there was a bunch of guys there for a bachelor party. And it was like 2 white guys and about 4 or 5 black guys. And one of the white guys was the groom.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know me, I get down. When they playing my,
Yes.
my music, I am dancing. So we're out there. One of my best friends, we're out there. We're just dancing, and one of the black guys comes up to me. He goes, "Can you do me a really big favor?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Can you dance with that guy right there?" And he's pointing to one of the white guys, and I'm like, "Sure." They're like, "Cause he's getting married tomorrow, and he's never danced with a black girl, and it would like."
Make his
millennium
wow.
on his last night as a single man
Wow.
to dance with the black. So me and my friend, we just made a
Y'all
white boy
just double
sandwich.
teamed on
Oh,
him.
we killed him. We put it
Damn.
all on him. We pulled out all the 90s stuff.
Wow.
we
Some old
put
SWV.
out some-
Wow.
we hey, last night as a single man, he needed his dream fulfilled.
You jumping off the bridge. You might as well go ahead and get it out the way.
I mean, and his boys are lined up against the bar on the floor because he's like, I don't know what to do with all of this, but I'm here for every second
All of this
it.
TNA, I don't know what to do because my wife looked like 6 o'clock straight up and down.
But yeah, and you know, between me and my girlfriend, we had a lot of TNA going on. So we
Can you work it?
Yes, we put our thing down, flipped it, and
And
reversed
reversed
it on the dance floor. Let's be clear, it was all on the dance floor, all in public, all in love.
Was that a Missy Elliott quote?
Wow.
She said that. Put it down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yeah.
I like it. You don't remember that?
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, we go. Thank you.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna need this bell.
You're gonna,
I need to
we
move
gonna-
it closer.
wait, let me get one too.
I need this bell.
I don't know if that was something from the back in the day or if that was
Shut up.
the okay.
Shut
Sorry.
your mouth.
Yeah, too
Carry-
much.
right now.
Too much.
Please carry on.
We digressed a whole lot. But anyway, where were we?
Why do people give a damn
Okay,
about the wedding?
So you know, it was that Harry found this girl. We knew it was kind of like we all in our back of our minds were like, Harry gonna end up with a black girl. But then it was like he'll probably date them and have them all over the place, but he'll never be able to. He's gonna have to go in the line that you're supposed to go down in the royal family, and he didn't. He went completely off the reservation with that.
Oh, he went off the reservation because they had a black soulful choir up in there.
Wow,
She
the
had-
wedding was wonderful.
The choir director had her braids tight up in there.
Oh, it was a whole lot of braid action.
A
up
whole
in the
lot of fake
choir.
hair up in that piece. Whole lot of fake
So
hair.
crazy. Well, no. We'll back up for a second before we get to the wedding. What? Because I want to say about that is this was my thing. You know, not talking about Meghan being black a whole lot. I mean, now the sisters were talking about it. It was like, oh, we gonna let you know Harry about to marry a black girl. Don't get it twisted.
But again,
But
I
he
don't.
never denied. She never. This was what at first before I saw her parading her mom around a lot. I was like, okay, is Meghan not saying she's black, or is it just we're just glossing over because it's not important? And part of me was like, I like the fact that they're not talking about it a lot because maybe it's not important. Maybe, but at the same time, given the age I am and what I have seen in this world and what I know of the royal family from a 60,000-foot view, something's like, this is not supposed to go down this way. It's not supposed to be this easy. It's not, where's the pushback? Where's the scrutiny? Not that
Well,
I'm glad that there wasn't, but at the same time, I'm like, this is too easy, drill sergeant.
He didn't.
Are we really progressing?
He
Are we
didn't
really
find a sister from
True.
Decatur.
true? Now, and I say that too. I say if she had like a hint more pigment, there might have been a problem.
If she had a hint more ghetto, it might have been.
That too. Now
no,
he didn't
bro.
go. He didn't go. He did go the refine, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I know.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So he got himself a good girl. She.
You assume.
I assume. I mean, well, put it this way.
Long as he happy, it
What
doesn't
it
make a
seems
difference.
that they put you through to because they put Kate through it. They definitely put Diana through it, and that's why she was like, "I'm about to blow this popsicle stand because this is a problem." There's lots of stuff that they got to go through. I mean, she's giving up everything to be Harry's wife.
Granted, but I guess what I'm more so saying is that's what she's choosing to do.
Mhm.
It's if you're kin to her or what, family
Why do we
lineage,
all
I
care?
get it. Why does everybody else care? Because you don't know her.
I think because
don't
we think
know
it's
him,
Cool. I
you're
think it's
not-
just it's,
I think
it's
when the
Wakanda forever. We're just getting more Wakanda.
Okay, y'all got to stop that Wakanda. Y'all really got to stop that Wakanda forever. Really. I didn't see
that's
her do
really
none of
what
that, all that.
Hey,
So,
look,
no,
look, that's what me and my friends were saying. We said she should have been in a carriage like this.
no. There's a limit to everything, and see that's where y'all keep pushing the boundaries. Because she already had a black preacher from North Carolina. You pushing the boundaries. But again, my point is that, well, one of my points is, you don't know her. And it has no personal interaction with you. It's not improving your life. I don't understand why you gave a damn.
I think it's like,
Not like you're going to find a prince tomorrow riding
no.
through Buckhead.
I think it's just a sense of pride that we have, that you have a black woman who's about some stuff, who crashed this ceiling, so to speak. You know what I mean? She really, you want to talk about breaking through and integrating some stuff.
Is this on the same level as Barack and Michelle in the White House?
Yes. Okay. When you infiltrate and like integrate, like like David was saying out there, it's like, what would really screw everybody up is if everybody kicks the bucket and that little mixed baby becomes king of England. Okay.
The reason why I'm going to go with Barack and Michelle are bigger than this is because Barack and Michelle got elected. People made a conscious decision to say, we want that black dude.
But same thing. Meghan, all of Meghan had to be approved.
I get it.
Because any point in time, his grandmama could have said, no.
But you know what?
Not happening.
I can't claim.
I'm letting no niggers in the castle.
I can't claim this statement, but I do believe it. It was her. I heard it on the radio. Somebody said, it was on MSNBC. Somebody said that, don't be confused. The Queen needed her just as much as Harry did. And the reason why is because the Queen needed to move forward and show that they weren't as racist as they were always thought to. And they needed to also extend a theoretical hand out to the black popular, the black culture, rather, of England, because it's always been
a little dicey.
Dicey, but it's always been a large black population in England, in London. So this does two things.
Like Barack and Michelle in America, the same kind of thing. And it is a statement, and not saying that Harry married her for a statement, but it also, for me, I also think that it's also a little bit of reach back for the whole Diana thing. Because I'm one of the conspiracy theorists that think the royal family.
Are you saying that the royal family has something to do with her death?
Yes.
Other than that meme you showed me.
Other than that
meme you showed me.
That's what it comes from. It comes from a lot of people believing that I still believe it, because she was a disruptor and they weren't down for it. But yes, years have passed. And Queen Elizabeth knows that she's not going to be around for too much longer.
I don't know. She might outlast all y'all.
Well, this is true, because she's working on it, though.
Because old boy is about to croak, and she is chilling.
Is this the first royal wedding of the social media era? Or has there been
No. William and Kate got married
5 years ago?
Would you say this was on a bigger scale than that?
Yes.
Yeah, because they dealt with Black Twitter. That's why.
Well, yeah, think about it. You had 99.9% Caucasian population watching William and Kate get married. And there were some black folks. And like I said, I touched in just to see what everybody was looking like. And then I tapped out. But this one, you add everybody who normally watches royal weddings, and then you got us on top of that.
So from your perspective, as an African American woman,
yes,
is this looked at as a win?
Yes.
For black, okay.
Not necessarily for black women. Not for black women, just for black people.
Oh, okay. No. You can't speak for all black people. You say win. I ain't win shit. I don't even care.
You're taking it personally.
You said it's a win for black people. Don't I count as black?
No, you're not understanding.
You're right. That's why I asked the question.
Elaborate.
Understanding.
I'm saying, like, we feel like this is like, again, we're crashing through something that's so white It's like we're not taking it, you know.
That it could snowball into something else. This is the
It
beginning.
ain't gonna snowball into nothing.
Okay, well,
You
back up.
already playing soccer over there. They ain't what? Ain't gonna be no brother marrying no white chicken.
Nah, you got that right.
I can damn sure agree to that.
Yeah, you
Ain't no
got that
brother
right.
marrying no white chick
You
over there
got that
nowhere.
right. He could be Idris and grandma being like, nah.
Idris can't be James damn Bond.
Idris didn't want to be James Bond.
No. He can't be. They're not going to allow. He could want to be. They're not going to allow him to be
he was on
James
the short
Bond.
list.
Short list. Did he get it?
He didn't want it.
Did he get it?
He didn't want it.
Okay. You tell me that nigga ain't gonna take that money. That's James Bond money there, player. Idris can say what he want to. James Bond is not The Wire.
James Bond is a very restrictive role, but we can talk about that later.
Whatever.
There's a whole lot. See, the Brits are staunch. There's serious rules and regulations about when you become James Bond. Like, you can't do a lot of other stuff. So
you're saying a breakthrough is a breakthrough.
A breakthrough is a breakthrough.
At the end of the day.
Small
or large.
But let's
Until
talk
it's
about
a breakthrough.
Well, the wedding itself was a breakthrough because how I took the wedding was, I had a conversation with a few people who did not realize that Meghan Markle was black. I don't know what rock they had been crawled under.
And they just lied to you.
I told you.
I mean, but I'm saying now, you knew.
I knew because any good-looking woman I see, I do my research.
I'm saying this person.
Because she could be batshit crazy.
I'm like, but they've been talking about it for a long time. So you knew that this was happening, right? I'm like, how did you miss the news and not know that Harry was getting ready to marry
okay, you
black?
mean from that standpoint?
Yes.
Yeah, they were under a rock.
And then it was like, oh, that girl's black? Yes. So I'm like, it has been very understood. It's been sort of subdued. It's been sort of, very low-key about her being black to an extent. And then in my mind, I was like, when the wedding came, I really was not expecting all of the melanation that went on in that. I really thought.
I thought it was a soul-to-soul video myself.
I thought her mama and her were going to be, and Serena and Oprah were going, and Idris were going to be the only black folks at this wedding. I really did. And the thing was, I wasn't angry about it. It was like, this is her, she's not overly black,
But it ties into a conversation we had out in the hall.
Yeah.
I believe that one reason why a lot of people didn't know she was black is because
she's not overly black.
She hasn't said anything for ain't no damn Wakanda. I told you about that. She has not verbally been for any solo black causes. Not that she should have to be, but she wasn't standing up for,
Black
I
Lives
can't
Matter.
breathe, Black Lives Matter, kids getting killed in Chicago with guns.
No.
And, with us,
right?
we tend to be a group of people that
She's more of a women's issue
lady.
Yeah.
We tend to be a people that say, if you don't do something that is overly and overtly
then you ain't
black,
all the way black,
then you ain't black. You're not committed to. I think back to when people gave Michael Jordan hell because he wasn't building movie theaters in the neighborhoods like Magic Johnson was, and said that Michael Jordan wasn't down for black people.
The Magic Johnson Theater by Greenbrier Mall.
Again, you mean the old? I'm not. Now we're going to the ditch. My point is that we tend to think that if you aren't, let me lick my lips. I don't like Malik Yoba. If you don't stand for completely solely black issues and are vocal about them, we tend to think that you
ain't black enough.
You're not black enough. And
then I must be white as hell.
No, but you're not famous. If you're famous, they expect you to exude your blackness
all over the place.
And when you don't, we are a group of people that will
Black Twitter gets angry.
What will call you to the carpet because you aren't being black enough.
Which is not fair.
And to that point, Childish Gambino, also known as Donald Glover, had his video, This Is America. And a lot of people took him to task because he had that message in the video, whatever message that was. And
a lot of messages.
There we go. And I'm sure y'all will get to that. But he also has a Caucasian baby mother. So some people were taking him to task, to your point, that how can you be pro-black but have a white wife, girlfriend, baby mama, etc.? Your thoughts. Do you have any understanding of that?
Well, first of all, because you brought that up, obviously I'm not up with pop culture because I didn't know he had impregnated a white woman. I will say that I understand where the confusion or conflict lies, but I will say that's nothing new.
Right. I was gonna say a lot of activists back in the day had white.
We
people.
spoke about this Charles Barkley, who I love. Charles Barkley was one who he was pro-black and calling referees crackers on the court, and he was married to a white woman.
Got all kinds of mixed children.
Got all kinds of mixed children. So I'm not hating on. I wouldn't hate on Mr. Glover for who he impregnated. I don't think one begets another. I don't think that you can love somebody of a different race and not be pro-black. I think you got to have a real good level of communication to go out and say, white people ain't ish, white people ain't ish, white people ain't ish, and then go home to that white person and be like, baby, you different.
But wait, that white person might be like, white people, I know my people ain't. It's kind of like how we can embrace the imperfections of our race.
You mean the N-word?
Oh, I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm just saying, you know,
that's what it is. We don't care about imperfections. We can say the N-word, but you can't.
Right. No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like when we
that mentality.
Yeah, when the mentality, or we talk about our people when they're, you know, when they're doing too much, yeah, or whatever, the same kind of thing. Maybe she can call her people out like that, like, you know, yes, white people ain't shit. They
true.
Because you know,
touche.
Because you know, I see stuff that we do, and I go, I need my people to do better. Case in point, this is a digression. My son's track meet.
Okay. I know it was some shit.
There's some people running, and this is somebody who's not on my son's team, but you know, everybody's sitting in the stands together. So you got people rooting for their folks, and there's girls on the track right now running. And over here somewhere, I hear, "Go Ciroc, go Ciroc, run girl, go Ciroc." I was like, I really need to do better.
Someone named their kid Ciroc?
Bruh, I got a better story, and
this is where I say I need my people to do better. See, I can say that about my people. So this white lady might be like, I need my people to do better. Look, she could be progressive. All people ain't cracker-ass crackers.
Since we in the ditch, let me go ahead and continue on the bottom of it. You talk about names.
Scrape it out and get out of it.
You talking about names. My fiance's sister is a teacher in DeKalb County School.
Teachers got good name. Good.
She had twins whose names were Yolangelo and Melangelo. No. Arangelo and Yolangelo.
Oh.
You know what they are?
Don't say they boys.
Oh, I didn't
One's
mean
a
the
boy.
sex.
Oh, okay.
I mean the names.
Okay.
Arangelo is orange jello, and Yolangelo is yellow jello.
Is that how it's spelled?
That's how it's spelled. Hold on, don't say shit. I got one on top of that.
It ain't gonna top that.
Oh, I promise you it will. Another one of her students a year before's name was Shatid.
Shithead?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You had said shit before, so we just continuing the funk. Yeah. So when you talk about naming your people doing better in naming,
I need my people to do better.
Yeah, exactly.
So see, we can do it. We don't know this woman. We don't know this one. We don't know what their story. And
she may be Rachel Dolezal while you.
Woo. Okay, let's back it up a little bit.
His wife might be Rachel Dolezal.
Let's back it up a little bit.
That's
now
what I'm saying.
You have to think about how much you know about Donald Glover. You have to go back to which Donald Glover is one eclectic human being. If you have seen his whole, I mean, some people only are just now drinking the Donald Glover Kool-Aid,
yes,
but he's been around for a minute.
Yes.
And he was on a very white show called Community.
Yes.
You know, but you can tell just by his music. You can just tell by the way I mean, he's a comedian. He does everything.
He's an artist.
He is the artist.
Quintessential artist.
Yes. He is so just boom, you know. People call him a genius. I could see where you can call him a genius because he has his hand in so many things, and what he does is really good. And then he also does things. How I like to brand a genius as someone who has the courage to do whatever and not care what the reaction is, and who's doing it for the sake of, this is the art that I want to put out in the world. This is what I want to give to the world, and I don't give two craps if you like it or not. But look at This Is America. You got people that hate it. You got people that love it. You got people that don't understand it. But that thing has been viewed a gazillion, quadrillion times, and that's all that matters. Love it or hate it, you watched it.
I had to get a cheat sheet.
You had to get a cheat sheet.
Literally, I had to go.
But this is the thing. You can get a cheat sheet, and it could be wrong, because what I love about it is that so many people have different interpretations of what that video represented, and he did it on. It was like, have you ever watched Atlanta? Have you watched Atlanta yet?
Yes.
Same thing with Atlanta. It's a thinking person show, which I like to say, because, you know, a lot of people go into Atlanta thinking it's going to be one kind of way, because it gives you the impression that it's going to be real Negro.
Yeah. And parts of it are.
And it is, but you also have to be somewhat educated to to appreciate it and get it, because I know some people that are like, I can't get into it. Yeah, because you don't read.
Are you saying that sisters, generally speaking, aren't into a guy like Donald Glover?
Probably not. He's a little weird. But you'd have to be weird to understand
Some
him.
sisters are.
Some like,
that's why I said generally speaking.
Generally speaking,
No.
like, yeah,
No,
because he's not basic.
He's not basic. He's not
basic,
conventional.
he's not easy.
He's different.
He likes white things, you know, that are, you know, people think are white, you know.
Yeah.
He's very out there, and you know this, like, by watching Atlanta.
He's different.
It trickles into some of the dialogue. Like my favorite character is Darius, Lakeith
Stanfield.
Lakeith his character. If you watch him closely, he is the most educated one out of the whole group, and he says some things that are so far out. Like, you have to know some stuff to understand the things that he says. But he's also very, you know, just like a weed head.
I mean, when I watched that video, I watched it like literally, I'm probably 5 or 6 of the gazillion views.
Yeah.
Because I kept watching it.
I watched it over. Yeah, because I wanted to. Yeah, because it's too much going on.
There's too much going on, and you got to focus
and that's on purpose.
This. Oh, granted, the second and third. I mean, look, the biggest thing that caught me the first time I watched it was all of the old cars at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, where the hell did he find these good-looking ass old cars?
Right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Right.
Because it was crazy. But again, I watched it on YouTube, and then they read it below it. I forget the company that did it, but they were going through some of the thought about interpretations of it and what things represented, and just seeing what they said things represented.
You want to go back and watch and see it again?
I went back and watched it again to see each part, and it was like, just say that part was true.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that cat is Jacques Cousteau deep.
Yes.
Because I could have never put together a video with that many. Again, saying it's true.
And what's funny is that
I could never put together a video with that many layers.
We're analyzing it this hard. Yes. Like ridiculous layers, and layers that you don't even think about. When other people bring up stuff, you go, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. And I'm thinking, did he really think this hard when he put this together?
Yeah. Or are we just finding stuff to attach to it? Are we just finding
stuff to attach?
Like the pants. The pants are supposed to be some old Civil War tight pants.
I didn't hear that one.
It showed a picture of the pants, and they were the pants that they wore in the Civil War.
I just thought they was some jacked up khakis, personally.
Nah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The 2 chains they said were a symbol for, one was bondage, and another one was for the commercialism of wearing gold like rappers do. I mean,
wow.
They talked about the cars were basically showing a lack of progression in that neighborhood. You know, when he was shooting the dude, that was going back to the Jim Crow era, the cartoon, and when
the stance. That he did. Now that was definitely on purpose. It's like I think he did put a lot of thought into it, but I think he didn't realize just how much people would read. I mean,
dig into it.
I'm thinking that he's probably watching the commentary, going, "Well, damn."
Like they said,
that wasn't what I did it.
Like they said, the dancing of the school kids with the African dance was to deter you from watching them throw the guy off the balcony.
Yep. Yeah, well, and that I think was him, because he put so much going on at once. I think that was his. We're on information overload to the point where we miss important things.
Oh, no doubt. Like you said, we don't read.
That we don't read, and or we're focused on all the wrong things. So you have somebody being thrown off a balcony, but you're watching dancing.
Yes.
You know.
Are we focused on the wrong things, or are we dancing to keep from going crazy based off the stuff going around?
I think it depends on who you are. If you are, I mean, I always tell people I like to ride on my ride to work and ride home, I like to cut the music off.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many people who, when I mention that to them, they
Like, I
can't
can't do it.
imagine
Not
riding
listening to
home
something.
for, my ride home is an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Riding home an hour and a half and having no music, because then they're left with their thoughts. And they don't want to be
Well,
left
you
with their
know,
thoughts
there-
like
some
for an hour and a
people's
half.
minds are a scary place to play around. So I know mine's a little dangerous on occasion.
Yours?
Shut up. Shut up.
Saying.
Shut up. But
It ain't the Justice League.
okay, so two things that I learned from, well, one was something that my sister pointed out, and then when I watched it again, I was like, oh wow. And that was the thing about the guns. Was
They wiped
that
them off.
well, no, not just that. It was every time a gun was fired, somebody came to safely disarm him and take it away. So there's the gun safety thing.
Yes.
But then the taking it away and wrapping it up and sort of holding it like this and running away, like protecting the Second Amendment, don't let it take it away. And then the third thing that I picked from, she only told me those two things.
Okay.
And I said, well, the third thing that I gleaned from that was
Told
taking
you
it,
gleam is not a Sunday word. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
what I gathered, what I interpreted. You want me to use Sunday
Wow.
words? I make up Sunday words, okay?
Okay.
So, wrapping it up, holding it close, and it was that the guns are more precious than the lives that it took.
Yeah, because
Yes.
they drug the body off.
It drugged the body off. So they or just left it.
Yeah, they drug one, I think left the other.
And the guns are like, my baby, And then the second thing, another friend of mine said that I was like, wow, that was
That's
real
about
deep.
5 right there.
Oh, that was one topic. It was the guns was the topic.
So your sister told you 2. You found the third one. So now you own second.
No, I said there was
Go ahead.
two separate things. The gun
Okay.
thing was one. The second thing is about Donald Glover being shirtless and dancing.
Yes.
One of my friends said to her, him dancing all crazy and looking crazy at that and constantly looking at himself moving was like sort of thumbing their nose at the viralness of the black man. Like, people just love, mandingo looking black men, and he was the furthest from the mandingo.
He did say, I'm so pretty, didn't he?
See,
I'm so
and
pretty.
he's like, I'm so pretty, and he's totally
That was so princess.
he's not attractive in the least. I mean, to some people he might be, but to be dancing
Baby
away,
mama like him.
but almost like this is not your ideal of what a black man is, and at the end he's still getting chased like everybody else.
Yeah.
Do y'all have an opinion on what that meant? Him getting chased at the end by what seemed to be a lot of. I don't think anybody black was chasing him.
No, it was all white people.
What does that mean?
That in the end we're all being chased.
Was that the sunken place?
Yeah, it could be.
He was running from.
He didn't know what the sunken place is.
Remember, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. See now.
What are
it's-
you leaning
now
back
it's your,
for?
Now it's your turn.
Now listen. Before the next episode,
You need to watch, because that needs to be a.
It's
topic
at
of
Redbox.
discussion. Right.
When you go to Redbox
It's
right
on
now,
HBO.
I got a
Man.
coupon code for you.
You could.
You have to see Get Out.
Oh my God! You can freaking
Blu-ray.
You can
To
on
hell with all
demand
y'all.
it.
After you watch it again with the director's commentary on.
All right, when I watch this movie, I better come away and be like
You're
you said.
You're going to.
Okay.
No,
It's like-
not
it's the
now
equivalent of
because
this video.
It's too, well, yes.
It's
yes.
like this video.
It is. It's like this video was Get Out and Atlanta, all the musical. It was
There you
Atlanta
go.
and Get Out the
It was
musical.
La La Land
Oh,
and
God.
Get Out.
The Black La La Land.
Yeah.
La La Land. That was ridiculous.
That was great. I like it. I'm here for it. Up top.
Glad you all are having
We're
some.
bonding.
Great.
I'm bonding with the child.
Exactly. He's his shoe size, 12. Told you about that. Don't make me bring up Sade. I do.
On that note,
Mm.
in closing,
In closing, do you have understanding of either subject? I mean, well, do you have more understanding about the wedding? Or are you still clueless?
I hear what you said. I still
You
think
still understand?
I still think it's ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, I think that you're looking for. It means something to you emotionally, but it's not practically. And I guess I live in too much of a practical world.
Right. I think it was just fun. I think it was just fun to
Not
see.
when I was awakened at 4:30 in the morning to watch no.
Okay, why was my older sister took a picture of herself? She was in her bathrobe with a church hat on, watching the royal
Looking like a
wedding.
damn fool in sheep clothing.
I was like, okay, you're taking this too far.
I mean, look,
You're
it was.
taking this too
I was awakened
far.
at 5 o'clock to watch
Why were you awakened? Why
because the woman laying beside me cut the TV on, and I was awakened because the damn wedding was on at 5 o'clock. That's why.
Okay.
I don't sleep
Miss
with.
DJ Mark Harris to be. You need to just leave the room next time. Leave the bear asleep. Don't poke him.
Shit. Sign up to watch them two get married all day. I'm trying to get 2-3 more hours. Make me go up and get a biscuit from Bojangles for breakfast as I'm up. God, please.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
I can't. But I'm back here every single time, aren't I?
You love it. You
I
love it. You love it
do.
like a fat kid loves cooked food. Don't act like that. Want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of The B-Side here in the lovely Envision BMG Studios, Teach One Media Network. Look for us on teach1media.com. I want to thank super producer Chris, my partner in crime, ChatterBox Christie.
Always a pleasure.
Want to thank the king, Mr. David Thornton.
Whoop, whoop.
The man who provided the loquacious sounds, DJ Kimmett.
Loquacious is not a weekend word.
Shit is my show. I can do that. Thank you for tuning in again. All this rude interruptions I keep getting. And we'll see you next time. Coming to YouTube, coming to Vimeo, coming to a social media platform near you. Check us out. We going out. Peace.
Hey.
So when they burned the city down, I was the one that sparked it. I was the rebel.